The Cunning Fox and the Clever Stork. Once upon a time, in a vast and beautiful forest filled with tall trees, colorful flowers, and singing birds, there lived a cunning fox named Reno. Reno was famous throughout the forest for his sharp mind and clever tricks. He was quick with his words and even quicker with his plans. While many animals admired his intelligence, others stayed cautious, knowing that Reno often used his cleverness to fool others for his own amusement. Not far from the fox's home lived a graceful and clever stork named Lena. She was tall, calm, and wise, with long legs and a sharp beak. Unlike the fox, Lena believed in kindness, patience, and respect. She spoke little, but observed everything carefully. The forest animals trusted her and often came to her for advice. Although Reno and Lena were neighbors, they were very different in nature. The fox loved jokes and tricks, while the stork valued honesty and good manners. Still, they greeted each other politely whenever they met. One sunny morning, Reno the fox had a mischievous idea. "I should invite the stork for lunch," he thought with a sly smile. "Let's see how clever she really is." That afternoon, Reno visited the fox and said sweetly, "Dear neighbor, please come to my house tomorrow. I would be honored to have lunch with you." The stork was surprised but pleased. "Thank you for the invitation," she replied kindly. "I will be happy to come." The next day, Lena arrived at the fox's cozy forest home. The table was neatly set and the smell of soup filled the air. The fox welcomed her warmly, pretending to be a perfect host. Soon, Reno brought out the food. To the stork's surprise, the soup was served in wide, shallow plates. Reno immediately began licking the soup happily, enjoying every drop. Lena leaned forward and tried to drink, but her long beak made it impossible. No matter how carefully she tried, she could not get even a sip. She felt embarrassed and hungry, but she did not complain. Instead, she smiled politely and sat quietly. The fox noticed her struggle and laughed secretly to himself. "How funny she looks," he thought. "I've fooled her well." After lunch, the stork thanked the fox for the meal, even though she had eaten nothing. She wished him well and went home silently. A few days passed. During that time, Lena thought deeply about what had happened. She was not angry, but she believed that lessons were sometimes better taught through actions rather than words. So one evening, she visited the fox and said gently, "Dear Reno, I would like to invite you to my home for dinner tomorrow." The fox's eyes sparkled with excitement. A free meal, he thought. How kind of her. The next day, Reno arrived at the stork's house feeling proud and confident. The table looked beautiful, and the stork welcomed him warmly. Soon dinner was served. This time the soup was placed inside tall, narrow jars with small openings at the top. Lena easily dipped her long beak inside and drank peacefully. The fox tried to eat but failed again and again. His short mouth could not reach the soup. He turned the jar, tilted it, and even tried licking the edges, but nothing worked. Slowly his confidence faded and his face turned red with shame. At that moment, the fox remembered the day he had tricked the stork. He finally understood how she must have felt. Reno lowered his head and said softly, "Dear Lena, I was wrong. I invited you only to make fun of you. Today I received the same treatment. Please forgive me." The stork looked at him calmly and replied, "I forgive you, Reno. But remember, cleverness without kindness becomes cruelty." The fox felt deeply ashamed, but also grateful for the lesson. From that day onward, Reno changed his ways. He used his intelligence to help others instead of tricking them. The animals of the forest slowly began to trust him again. As for Lena, she remained the wise and gentle stork, respected by all. And so peace returned to the forest, along with an important lesson that everyone remembered for years to come. Moral of the story: treat others the way you wish to be treated. Cleverness is meaningful only when it is guided by kindness.